All right, so today, Mike, everything's about percents.
Yes.
And I just said percents are the most widely used things that you guys will come in contact with by far. Like absolute value, you're not going to use on a daily basis. You might never use it again after high school. All right, I'm not trying to pretend that you're going to use all math every day. But percents, this is something that you will use pretty much on a daily basis. And Nate's like, huh, what do you mean? Now, when you guys go out to eat, what do you guys leave? A tip, right? You leave a tip. Now, what is a typical tip?
$5.
20%. 15% if they're not so good, right? This is funny. And then upwards of 30% if it's just like amazing service.
Yeah, or if you're a Pencrest grad.
Or if you're a Pencrest grad. Like if Ava was my server, she would get a good tip.
Yeah, exactly.
Nate, not so much. I'm joking, Nate. Of course I would give you a good tip. Okay? So tip is a percentage. But what if your bill was like $56? How do you know how much to leave? Now there are some rules of thumbs, okay, meaning like for every like $10, you leave like what, 2?
Yes.
So like 56, you would just say, all right, let me round that up to 60. And then you take the first number, the 6 times 2, and you leave $12. Okay, some people do it that way. Some people do it, you take your number, divide it by 5, so I would do 56, round that down to 55. 55 divided by 5 is 11. Okay? So I would leave like $11 tip. Okay? Some people are on the cheaper side. Okay? Some people are on the cheaper side and they just do 56. Okay, let me divide it, by 10. So it'd be like 560, round it up to like $6, and then I'll take half of that. So you have $6 plus $3, that's $9. Okay? So there are some rules of thumbs here. But at the end of the day, you want to know, say Ava, all right? Ava, let's say you work at my favorite breakfast place. Do you know what that is? Town and Country in Aspen. It's the best.
Is it open?
Yes. So good. Or, do you live in Media? Do you know Bittersweet in Media? You guys know Bittersweet? Bittersweet. Good place to eat. You should try it. Okay, let's say Ava is a waitress there, and I'm a regular that comes in all the time. Well, Ava's going to want to know how much am I tipping her, because if I tip her poorly, well, maybe Ava takes a little bit more time getting my breakfast. You know what I mean? She's not going to want to give the best service if she's not being rewarded for her hard work. Does that make sense to you? Why would you want to work extra hard just to get like $5? If I'm paying you $10, you're gonna be like, yo, let me get that guy his food first. Let me get him his food. Okay? So that's why you're gonna want to know. And you're not gonna want to like sit there and crunch numbers, but this is where it all comes from. Now the other place it comes from is I heard Katie likes to shop. Katie, do you like to shop? Katie, don't make me a liar. Just say yes. All right, fantastic. I knew you loved to shop. Now, when you go out shopping, Katie, you notice the signs say like 30% off, right? It's all a marketing scheme. Okay, they post that so that like you feel like you're getting a deal, or like buy one get one half off. You're like, well, what am I actually paying for this? Okay, so it's all percents. Now, we're just talking here. We haven't even started. I just told you all the different places you're going to come in contact with percent and why it's so important. But, Julie, you there? Jules?
Yep.
Jules, what does percent mean?
What do you mean? It's percentage.
Yeah. But if we're looking at percent, the word percent,
Means divided by 100.
ooh, very good. It means per, which is divide, and cent. Well, how many cents are in a dollar? 100. That's where it comes from. So percent is basically your parts out of 100. Okay. Now, while you guys are soaking that in, I'm going to align my board because nothing's been working well today. No, I forgot. Just left.
I heard something. Did you hear it?
It's probably that Cody fellow.
Yeah.
I don't trust
Nah.
him.
Oh, I'll get you in a minute when we have a good break. So, percent means parts out of 100. So that's where we get kind of this thing, this proportion, okay? And over here in this little box, okay, I just want you guys to draw this proportion, okay? And we're going to fill it in. Where are your notes?
What book has it?
The red book?
Oh, I have.
Nate, why does it say you're getting on?
Oh, I didn't mean to.
Me, what?
All right, so here we go. Now, percents are out of 100. So we're going to put percent over 100 equals is over up. Now, why am I giving you guys like this kind of proportion and stuff like that? Like yesterday, you guys did the work. It was pretty easy, right? Nate, did you find it pretty easy? Grace, pretty easy? Wasn't meant to be hard. It was just to get you thinking about this. So sometimes you get this. What percent of 25 is 17? So for example, well, what if I gave a quiz in here and you got a 17 out of 25? How would you do? Do you want to put that on the fridge or not?
No.
Do you know? How do you know?
You divide 17.
And that's where this all comes from. You do 17 times divided by 25 times 100, right? That's where it all comes from. So percent over 100 equals is over up. Now that we got that, to do this problem, what percent of 25 is 17? So I'm looking for the what percent. That's going to be my x. So notice they use the letter P. So they're doing parts over the whole. So 17 is my is. See that? Is 17. 17 where the is was. Of. See that word of? That one where the word of was. So 17 divided by 25 equals P over 100. So then they did cross multiply and divide by the lonely guy. So you did 17 times 100 was 1700 equals 25. Okay, divide by 25 and you got 68%. Guess what? You ain't putting that on the fridge. No. So moving forward, okay? Let's look at all of these, okay? Where A is a part of the base and blank and P divided by 100 or P percent is the percent. So this is percent. This is 100. Okay, where A is a part of the base B. All right, now I don't like that. I like is over of equals percent over 100. Mrs. Simonia might like percent over 100 equals part over the whole. Okay, whatever works for you. I like the is over of because you're going to see those words all the time. So here we go. It says what percent of 20 is 15? Now, do you guys all know how to do that? Where'd you guys get? 75%. How'd you get that? Mental math? Maybe, do you know how he got it? Okay,
Or divide 50 by
so
20.
even, the best way to think of this is as follows. Think of this problem as like a test, okay? You got a 15 out of 20 on the test. What do you do to figure out your grade? You do 15 divided by 20 times 100, right? Do that. Go ahead and do that. And you're going to get, so there's my is, there's my of. You got 75?
Yeah.
So look, is over of, right? Is was 15, of was 20. Follow me, Ali?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to write x over 100. So what you did is you did 15 divided by 20 times 100. There you go. So the best way that I've seen to do this is to learn to cross multiply and divide by the lonely guy. So you do 15 times 100 equals 20x. So they do 1500 divided by 20 equals x, and then you get 75 is x. Got it? And the reason why they do it this way is because, well, now this isn't so much of a test grade, is it? This is more so belongs to like a tip, Mike. Ready for it? It says, what number is 30% of 90? So, you want to know if you're a waiter, Mike, did you get a good tip? All right? Or how much will your tip be on like your bill of $90?
$27.
Yeah, because you did all this stuff yesterday, right? So here we go. What number is? So we're asking, what is the is part?
Multiply.
So that's x.
Oh, yeah.
Now the of part is 90. Notice the percent is always over 100. So Mike did 100x equals 30 times 90. So 100x equals 2700. And he divided by 100. And he got x equals 27. Now, why is that significant? Well, let's think about it this way. I'm going to keep going back to the waiter thing. Waiters and waitresses are more willing to take larger groups. Do you know why, Joe?
Bigger tip.
Why is there a bigger tip?
Because there's more people.
The more people, the more money, and the tip's a percentage. So they're more willing to take on bigger parties. Okay? Now, some people like to do smaller parties because the smaller parties you can get in and out quicker. Bigger parties are sitting there talking, right? They're chit-chatting. For breakfast, people in and out, in and out, in and out. It's like you can make $5, $7 every like 10 minutes and you have like 4 or 5 tables. You could be making like $100 an hour.
That ain't too shabby now.
Not too shabby. But remember, it's a percentage.
Yeah.
So some people might tip you, some people might not. Do you know what it's called when somebody doesn't tip you?
Bad service.
Sure.
Oh wait, no, it's not service. Never mind.
What's the deal? They stiffed you.
What if the bill was like $19.98 and they gave her $20 bill and said keep the change?
Well, that you would be like,
I'd be pretty mad.
you would be, because you would have gotten a very poor tip.
Yeah.
And to quote one of my favorite movies, I would give it back to them and I'd say, no, apparently you need this more than I do. You can keep the change. And give them back the 2 cents. So is and of are an easy way to remember how to write the proportion. So we talked about this. This is the is over of equals the percent over 100. It's always over 100. We always know that. Now I want you guys to try. Figure out what percent of 80 is 28 and what percent of 90 is 36. Go ahead, take them in.
What was it again?
These two problems. You can do it. Did you copy any of this stuff?
It's all in my mind.
You should be copying this stuff.
I have the book.
Where is it?
Somewhere in my house.
I don't know about that.
It is.
Let's see about that. There it is. No, no, this.
All right. John.
Yeah.
What did you get for what percent for number 3?
I got 35.
35. So I'm just going to write x equals 35. Let's find out. So you did set up your proportion. We're looking for the percent, so that's going to be over the 100. So 28 divided by 80. Let me see, that's going to be, yeah, I got 35 because it's going to be 2,800 equals 80 x divided by 80. So I got 8 goes into 280. Well, that's 3 with 40 left over. That's 5, so 35. Nicely done, John.
Thank you.
All right, Grace. What did you get for number 4? 40%. I think you're right. So we got 36 over 90 equals x over 100. So 3,600 equals 90x. Divide by 90. And you know you're right, because 9 goes into 36 4 times, so it's 40. You don't have anything to write with?
So good. Yes,
I'm going to start getting you crayons.
man. So convenient.
All right, key concept, okay? It's not really a key concept. It's kind of like just a different way of doing this, okay? And why do I bring this up? Well, let's face it. Kimmy's going to be out shopping, and she's not going to want to set up a proportion. So you're going to have to figure out a quick way to do these things, okay? Now, I want you to all to look at your calculator. Do your calculators have a percent symbol on it? How's a percent symbol? Lucky you. Anybody else have a percent symbol? Yeah. Here's the thing.
I do.
Oh, lucky you. What if I said this? All right. Let's say, where's the place you kids shop these days? Huh. Paxson? I was going to say the Hollister, but we'll go Paxson. So let's say a sweatshirt at Paxson is how much? 50 bucks? 60 bucks? 55? So which one is it? 60 bucks. 60 bucks. All right, so it's 60 bucks. But it's on sale for
25. 50%.
what do the sale signs say? What's the typical sale of Pexon? 75%? 80%? 20% off?
Like 25.
All right, we're gonna say 20%. How much is it? This is a real life scenario, right? You need to know with Black Friday coming up, are you gonna have the money to buy that sweatshirt? Well, what do I do? I gotta do this is over of. There's easier ways. That's where this comes into play. This is what I like to think of. 20% off, okay? Now we're gonna do the original one. We're gonna work through all this. I'm gonna show you a shortcut, which is from up here. So we're gonna do the is over of, right? 20% over 100, right? And we want to know how much is it, right? Out of 60 bucks, right? This is what we know. So we do 60 times 20, that's 1,200, equals $100. Divide by 100, we get X equals $12. But now, here's the thing. He was like, yeah, I am buying that sweatshirt with that Pax on, and it's $12, right? But it's not $12, is it? How much would it be? How do I get the cost? What do I have to do? Well, I have to take, because it was a discount, the cost of the sweatshirt, which was 60, and then subtract off that 12 to get $48. Which you're still probably like, yeah, I'm still buying that sweatshirt. That sweatshirt is dope. Lit. Gucci. Flop. What other words do you guys use these days?
Give them a word.
What was it? None of those? What words do you guys use?
Nate, tell them. Nate uses all new words. You just gotta ask what Nate's kind of words.
I don't even know what kind of words I use.
I bet you.
Oh boy.
What kind of words do you use?
All right, so we got $48. Now,
Good words.
let's be honest. There is no way any of you are doing this whole math thing there, are you? No. Here's the shortcut. Are you ready for it? It's 20% off. I boxed that in, right? If you got, think of it this way. If your test was out of like 100%, right? And you got 20% off of the test, what percentage did you get on the test? No? You get 20% off of the test. Think about it. It's not as hard as you think. 80, right? So if percents are out of 100 and you're getting 20% off, that means you're paying for 80% of the shirt, right? Do you see that? So we're going to do 100% minus the 20% off because remember, you start with 100% and off means to subtract. So this would give you 80%. Now do this for me. What is 80% of 60 bucks? 48. How did you get that so quick? Well, you could do 0.80 times 60. And there's your $48. So did you see what I did there, Ava? See how I converted my percent to a decimal? And of means to multiply. So I did 0.8 times 60 and got 48. So when I go out and I'm shopping, when the signs say 40% off, I think to myself, I'm paying for 60% of that item, whatever it is. Whether it's a beach chair. Maybe it's the inflatable arms because I don't know how to swim. It's okay, you can laugh at that. It's supposed to be fun. Laugh at it so I feel better about making the joke. Thanks, Dan. Okay? So that's what I do. Do you guys see that? That's where that comes from.
Yeah.
Got it? All right, down here, there are 3 problems. 1, 2, 3. You guys do those 3. See if you get them. Louie, I'm calling on you for number 1. Chucky, you're number 2. And who else should I pick? Olivia, number 3.
It's Olivia, I don't know. I didn't know either. He was very surprised.
All right, Louie,
Yes, Mr. Harmon.
what'd you get for number 1?
75%.
How much?
75?
75? All right, let's see if you're right. So 57 over 76 equals x over 100. So I have 5,700 equals 76x. Divide by 76. Oh, no. Let me check on my handy dandy calculator.
Make a check on your calculator.
I got 75. Nicely done. Chucky, what'd you get for number 2?
28.
28. Let's find out. So we have x over 80 equals 35 over 100. So I have 100x equals, let's see, 0, 0, 28. Divide by 100. There you go. Nicely done, Chucky. Olivia.
I didn't finish.
What was that?
I didn't finish.
Okay, I'll give you a second. Tired there, John? Why are you so tired? It's like noon. That seems like a poor life choice because we know who was going to win that game.
It was pretty close.
That's just because they both stink. My he's a Jets fan. He got my daughter a Jets like onesie type of deal. It was for 24 months, and the first comment I said to him was this: maybe by then the Jets will be a decent team. He was not too happy with it. And I said, "What? I'm being real here. Ever since Mark Sanchez left the Jets, haven't been good."
Okay, Harmon.
Olivia, you still good?
I don't get it.
All right, Olivia, ready? Follow me here. It says 27 is. So the 27 is the is part. That's going to go up top. 25 is the percent part. And that's going to be over 100. So we don't know the of part. Notice of what number? So we have 25x equals 2,700. Divide by 25. We get x equals see. 108. All right. Come on, no, somebody's gotta tell me. Joe, you gotta tell me. All right?
It's not looking right.
Because you only have one shoe on. Never really looks like it. It's funny. All right? 2,700 divided by 25?
No.
Mr. Harmon.
You
I have a
do it.
question.
No, I think we have to. Right.
What? I'm right.
Wait,
All right.
Mr. Harmon.
Okay, let me stop sharing.
Mr. Harmon, I